Imagine if you started 2025 with a solid plan and the right support to reach your highest goals. So will 2025 be a breakthrough year for you? What do you think?
Yes.
And what will it look like? So what does exponential growth mean for you in your business? This is the interactive part. So you can either think it, you can write it down, you can share it, but I want you to think about what would make 2025 an outstanding, great, phenomenal year for you in your business. What would need to happen? What would be the results? What would be the evidence that you did it? Yes.
I will have 3 minimum $5,000 speaking engagements every month for the entire year.
All right.
Yes. And my name will be in lights. Big lights somewhere.
I love it. Name in big lights. You've got those speaking engagement, 3 a year, minimum 5K each one. Yeah. Beautiful. Anyone else want to share? You don't have to, but it's an opportunity to share.
Okay, I'll share.
Yes, Rose.
I'll have an upholstery shop making at least, my minimum right now, I want to make at least $10,000 a month in upholstery business and open up an upholstery shop.
Fantastic. So opening up your own upholstery shop and making at least 10K a month. Awesome. So I want to invite you to think about what are the shifts that you need to make in your thinking or your mindset, in your systems, in your operations, and in the people. Okay? These are 3 key categories that I see that catapult growth. So I started out as an entrepreneur. Straight after graduating from college, I went into the entrepreneurial world. And I've been in sales and 100% commission and my own businesses ever since. And it was the 90s when I started. So it was a few decades ago. And one of the things that I see is, they say the only constant is change, right? Like these are things, right? Things are evolving and growing. And recently, so my first career was in real estate, and I did that for about 20 years. And then I started my coaching consulting business and been doing that for the last decade. And I recently got pulled back in. And it's really interesting because I'm coaching a whole team, a whole office of realtors now. And it's really interesting to see that perspective of being in the business and then taking a step back. And I still am, have been around it and I have clients in the business and things like that. But now I'm really back in it, in an office once a week, coaching realtors. And the perspective that you get when you step out and step back in is really incredible. And seeing how things have changed and what has stayed the same. So when we think about the mindset and the thinking that creates success, one of the biggest things that I've observed is when people get into business for themselves is how do they think? Do they think like an employee or do they think like a business owner? So when you think like an employee, what's that mindset?
Day by day.
What's that?
To me, it's day by day.
Day by day, right? It's a job, okay? And I've seen people in business for themselves treat it as a job. But there's a different thinking as a business owner. What's the thinking of a business owner? What's the difference?
Bottom line.
Bottom line? What was that? Projection, yes, the overview. We're thinking about what's the future, the vision. Yeah, so it's there's a different level of responsibility and commitment. Yeah?
To be charitable.
To be charitable. It's a different mindset. Okay? So what I've seen, because I started right in the business, okay? And when you get into business for yourself, before you start making money, what do? You spend a lot of money. And when I see people with an employee mindset come into the business, they're like, why am I spending all this money? You're investing in your business. And one of the biggest investments that Warren Buffett says we all need to make is in ourselves. So how are we thinking? How are we growing? What do we need to know to become the business owner who runs the type of business that we want to have? So one of the things that I see that trips up so many people, and it is even more pervasive now than ever, is distraction. Distraction, and just because there's so many new things coming there's new software, there's new this, there's new that, there's this flashy light over here and that flashy light over there, and there's just all these different things that can distract us from our purpose and our commitment to our business. So how do you stay on track and not get distracted and still be innovative and progressive? So some of the things to think about as thinking as a business owner, one of the things that Misha said was was vision, right? So some of the things that creates a compass for your business is having your mission, your vision, your values, your client avatar. What are those staples that say, okay, here's what I do, here's who I serve, and here's my main purpose and services that I offer, how I deliver those things, and how do I keep focused on that track? Okay, so, success is a lot about consistency, which sometimes the entrepreneurial spirit gets in our way because we're idea people, right? In business, you don't have if you're an entrepreneur, you're never short of ideas. What gets us stuck is implementation. Okay, so first we need to have that mindset of the business owner. We have to have the projection, the overview, the foundation, that grounding. So one of the things as a business owner a lot of us do is we work on our personal development. I believe our business grows to the extent that we do. And if you ever done one of those mindset or do you guys need help with something?
Yeah, if you guys would like to have one, it's too much for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now that's the mindset of a great business owner is a giver. That's an example of a great mindset of a business owner. I find the best business owners are very giving oriented, they're very community oriented, and they're really there to serve and help support people. So thank you, Oscar, for that. So what was I saying? I was talking about.
Well, I was just going to
Yes.
go back a little bit. You
Yes.
mentioned the employee and the owner, and something that came to me is that the employee is working for themselves to make it every day and to potentially help you fulfill your vision, but you have to really focus on your vision and your passion. It's why am I building this business? Because I have a passion to serve in a certain way.
Right.
Whereas the employee, their purpose is to make the money and get food on the table.
Yes.
They're not necessarily there to satisfy the mission of
for a greater purpose. Yeah. So most of the time as a really great business owner with a great mindset, our vision and our purpose and our mission is bigger than ourselves. and it includes more people. And that also can help us propel further, farther, faster. Yeah. So when we're thinking about that foundation, I know what I was talking about, is the mindset. And if you've ever done any like visualization or guided meditation, one of the exercises that a lot of them do is they say, imagine yourself and you've got this cord that comes out of your body and it goes to the center of the earth, and then it wraps around the core of the earth and you're really grounded, right? And that's a really good grounding exercise. I'm not one of those people that leads those things. So that's my interpretation of that exercise, right? But I think it's a really great exercise to think about what is that grounding, right? What's going to keep you grounded to that core, to that center, that will allow you to stay focused and moving towards your goals and your vision, and gives you that support to be able to do other things, but without being too distracted, right? So we need to have that foundation and that core that keeps us centered and keep us on path and on track. And then once we've got enough of that on track and we have enough of that grounded centeredness, then we can expand on it. Okay? So one of the things that we want to move to is from that mindset. One of the successes in business is consistency, which I talked about briefly, right? And that's about having systems, right? What is your process in how that you operate your business and how you serve your clients? Do you have a process that you go through? What are standard operating procedures, right? Your SOPs, okay? So what are those operating procedures that makes what you do you and special and is serving your ideal client and your customer in the way that you serve them, okay? Then we can layer other systems on top of that, like using software like CRMs. I think a CRM is one of the most important tools and systems that you can implement in your business. So one of the things,
What is that called?
a CRM,
What is a CRM, please?
it's a customer relationship manager. Basically, it's where you hold it's your database, right? You hold all your people there. So one of the things we want to do as we are putting our systems in place is know what your constants are. So for example, when I went into coach this office of realtors, right? And realtors are a wily bunch. And they are definitely idea people, and they're definitely here, there, and everywhere, and they definitely get distracted by the bright, shiny objects. And so one of the things that we want to do is we want to create systems and habits in our business so we don't have to think about the day-to-day, so we can get out of that day-to-day like grind and into that business owner mindset of where we're going and how we're going to get there and what's that next level of growth. So when I went into the Home Smart Optima Realty Group, I started with the realtors with 4 proven habits, right? And just focus and keep it simple. But what are those core 4 for you? Like if you did this consistently in your business, that would create the foundation and the systems that would sustain and grow your business. And then once that was those simple things were a habit and just a way of doing business and just the way that you just operated every day, then you would be able to look to the other, right? What is that next thing? Okay, so one of the things Oscar is talking about is like, do I want to market my business differently? And one of the things we talked about earlier is distractions, but now we're also talking about systems. Okay, so one of the things is we can get easily distracted by all these bells and whistles and the newfangled, like, be here, be there, do this marketing, do that marketing. There's always tons of options on how to run your business. One of the things of a business owner is when you have that core and that foundation and that compass, then you know when is the right time, then you can make better decisions, okay? So when is the right time and the right tool to implement, okay? So right now, AI is like, that is the newfangled, like, bright shiny object everyone is talking about. And it is fantastic. I use it myself. It is phenomenal. But how you decide to implement it in your business is your decision as a business owner. And which other tools that are going to help you implement it and how you're going to do it, all those things are the things that you want to decide as a business owner. Yeah, Brian.
So how do you go from AI dum 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 to AI? There's a lot of difference between those two things, even though we're using the same two initials here.
Right. Okay. Well, that brings us to my third the best resource in business are other business owners, and that's our people.
Yeah.
So when you're a business owner, the weight of the business is on your shoulders. You have to make all the decisions. All the business is your responsibility. And even if you have employees, even if you have a significant other, they may not always be the right person to talk to about business ideas and problems and challenges and opportunities and all those things. So one of the most important things is to find some people in business that you can talk about these things. That's one of the reasons why me and my two friends started the Business Acceleration Group, which is a mastermind group for business owners, because we saw the need for business owners to have a forum and a place to help each other. And one of the reasons why I am a part of my professional association, the National Speakers Association, is to stay on top of trends and to hone my craft and to be able to do what I do even better. Okay? So with these resources, right, we find out from other people, how are you implementing it? What do you know about it? What resources do you have? And we share. So one of the things about being a business owner is you have this smorgasbord, right? And you don't have to do everything. And you don't have to do everything right now. So investigate it and find out who knows and build and have a fantastic business network where you can find out the answers to see if it's right for you and learn enough so you can judge, how will this enhance what I'm doing? Or is this something I need to hold off on? Or is this something I need to jump on? Okay? And if we have our core, our foundation, and our compass, we can make better decisions on that. And then we utilize our resources, which are oftentimes people, right? We can find out what we need to know. So I know that the National Speakers Association has been huge for me to understand AI and how people are implementing it and talking about it and you know, all the fancy things like prompts and blah, blah, blah that are getting even more and more, right? So that's one of the ways that I stay attuned, right? And having my personal board of advisors. And then the other important thing for a business owner to have is a coach. What I've seen, the most successful people have The reason they are so successful, part of their success track is having a coach, having a mastermind, right? Because we can't see the forest through the trees, right? We are in our stuff so much, right? Sometimes the answer is obvious. We just need an outside perspective to help us find it. Okay? So, as you can tell, I could talk about these things for a long time, but let's just wrap up so we can have some other folks share their fabulous wisdom as well. So, hopefully, I gave you some things to think about, some framework, and how you can help yourself have a phenomenal year. And for some reason, like 2025, doesn't it just sound like a significant year, right? It's like, I want to do really well just because it's 2025. And it's just, I don't know, just seems to fit. So how are we thinking? Thinking like a business owner, okay? What systems and processes do we have in place to strengthen where we are and get into the habits that allow us to just run things smoothly so we can look at what are the next things that we need to implement? And then who are the people that we need to support and surround ourselves with to help elevate our success, be around the same level of thinking that will help us get to the next level and have the resources and understanding that's going to help us get to where we want to go. So the way that we got to 6 figures, hustle and grind it out a lot of times, is not what it takes to get to 7 figures, which is more about thinking, systems, and people. So will 2025 be your breakout year?